Hi, and welcome to the Perham Show. I'm Gail Langner. Today I'm here at Perham Living with Karen Laughlin and with Duke. And we're so glad to have Duke join our family here, and I'm sure you are too.
Yes, very much so.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about him?
Duke is a 3-year-old black lab, and he was given to us by a resident, or actually it's a volunteer son came in and said that he wanted to buy us something, and kind of shocked me because I wasn't quite sure what he wanted.
Is it going to be diamonds?
Yeah,
right.
No, I knew it wasn't going to be diamonds, but he had said that he knew that we had lost our dog, Lucky,
yeah.
back in April, and he felt that the residents really needed a dog. And I said, you know, we definitely knew that he was right there. And Julie Sanders and myself, we've been looking all summer long, hoping to find just the right fit for us. And we had a couple of leads, and they fell through. And so around Christmas time, you don't think about dogs or anything like that. We're thinking about everything else.
Right.
But Mike and his dad came in and said that they wanted to get us a dog. And so I said, great.
Oh,
I
that's
said, then
so
I didn't have to
nice.
worry about trying to find the time because,
Right.
you know, not necessarily having the time. So he went over to Detroit Lakes to the Marshmallow Foundation.
Yep.
And came back, and he said, we found 2 that probably would work. When he walked in, Duke was one of 2 dogs that was not barking.
Ah.
And so we figured, well, you know, with that type of disposition,
Sure, a little calmer.
he should be okay around the residents. And so they said they had to wait for the weekend because somebody had also spoken for him.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, we thought, okay, you know, are we going to get it? Don't
Right.
get our hopes up too much. Then he came back on Tuesday and he said, yes, that we'd be able to get Duke.
Okay.
And he came with the name Scooby, but didn't really come to his name, so
He looks more like a Duke anyway.
The residents thought we should name him Duke, so that's what we did. And so we've been working with him, trying to get him acclimated.
Sure.
When we had our dog, Lucky, when he first came in, she stayed in a smaller area.
Right.
And now we've probably tripled our square footage.
Size, sure.
Square footage for him to roam and everything.
Okay.
So we've been at first we had staff take him home overnight.
Okay.
And then on the weekends too.
Okay.
And so he's been staying overnight now, 24 hours for about a week.
Okay. How's he
It's
doing?
worked out. He's
I'm
doing
sure
pretty
it's
good.
overwhelming with the size.
It is at times, but he's really good with even kids.
Oh, good.
You know.
Well,
that-
labs have a great disposition.
Yeah. That first day he came in and he did okay we thought he was doing okay for a while. And then we noticed that he was getting a little bit more anxious and more anxious and more anxious and never really sat down until we have happy hour on Fridays. And so a bunch of the residents were in the town center here, and he found one of the newer residents that came in, and she's a wonderful dog lover. And he laid down by her, knowing that she was safe.
know.
Yep, knowing that she was safe. And so he stayed and rested for a bit there. But then we started talking and decided that we're going to have to just kind of ease him in gradually.
Sure,
And
exactly.
So right now he's living up in Burlington, which is one of our households on
Right,
the
you're just
top
keeping
floor.
him in one
Yeah.
household for right now?
Yep.
Okay. I saw in the paper that picture with Liz Soderstrom.
Yeah.
And
That's the household that he's in.
Oh, okay.
So he's upstairs in her household,
Okay.
and they have a little sunroom that they put him in, and have a gate. And so he's jumped a couple of times, but is doing pretty well. He's going to obedience training school. And then we wanted to get him into a canine community school and then possibly therapy school, which would train him to be around like electric wheelchairs and the wheelchairs so that he
I
wouldn't
never
get
thought about that.
Yeah, and that's something we didn't either.
Sure.
You know, when Lucky was here, he just kind of gradually, and we just
Sure.
did it. You know, you
Sure.
don't think about that type of thing.
Right.
But like I said, we were very excited when Mike and Chantal came and brought him in, and so I've got to send him off an email to let him know how he's doing because they were
Exactly.
worried.
Yeah.
Mike did say though that if it didn't work out, he would take him back.
Okay, well, it looks like it's working
I
out.
think so.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well,
We
Karen,
always know when he's relaxed because he always puts his
That's right.
paws like that.
Oh, he's good on camera.
Yeah, he's very good on camera.
Well, Karen, thanks so much for having
You're
us. I
welcome.
really
Thanks for
appreciate it. And
coming.
good luck, and maybe we'll check in and see how he's doing a little bit later on.
Oh, sounds great.
Okay, great.
Thanks.
Thanks so much. All right, and don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Perham Show. I'm so glad you decided to come back because now we're here with Joyce from Lakeland Hospice. Joyce, thanks so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
And I understand that you have a grief support group here in Perham.
Actually, we meet right here. We have a grief support and education group that meets at the lower level here at the nursing home, now Perham Living.
Perham Living,
And we
right.
meet the first Tuesday of the month at 4 o'clock.
Okay, so
Downstairs.
Down in the lower level of Perham Living, first
And-
Tuesday at 4 o'clock.
Right, in the
Okay.
boardroom.
In the boardroom, okay. Tell me a little bit about it, about your group.
It's open to anyone in the community, whether you've used hospice services or not. It's open to anyone, whether whether you've had a death in the family recently or some time ago.
Okay, all right. That's great. And about how long do you meet?
We meet for about an hour, and each meeting we have part education and part support. I bring readings that are helpful when people are grieving about the different aspects of grief, and we share our feelings and help support each other. We share how we cope with our grief. And it's a confidential group, which is really important. Sometimes we think when we live in a small community that it can't be confidential, but we have the saying, who we see here and what we say here stays here. So we have
I like that.
So we have a safe place to talk. So sometimes our coworkers or family or friends don't know what to say to us, or they don't want to bring up the person's name,
Right.
and they don't want to see us crying, but tears are good. We need to let out those feelings. So
Right.
it's good to be with other people that really understand.
Exactly.
And sometimes we want to talk about the person and share our feelings, and we wonder what's normal.
Sure.
And when you hear from other people experiencing grief and they're feeling the
The
same
very
way.
same way, right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So that validates our feelings, and we find different ways of coping. Everyone has their own way of doing that.
Sure.
Our grief is individual, but they don't feel alone anymore. We can feel really isolated with our grief.
Exactly.
So sometimes it helps to meet people that are further on that grief journey, that it may have been a year or two for them. So that gives us hope for our future, and then we'll know that we actually can survive this.
Right. Because I'm sure sometimes it feels like you're not going to survive it.
Exactly. Social workers are often asked, am I feeling these feelings, are they normal, or am I going crazy?
Right.
And it's like, no, all those feelings, there's a lot of emotions with grief. And it helps to know that, yeah, you're normal. It's very common. And someone said the hardest work you'll ever do is grieving.
I'm sure.
And so why would we do that alone if we can be with other people who really get it, who really understand?
Exactly right.
So this group is open to join anytime. You don't sign on for a year or whatever. Some people come for a few months, some people come for a couple of years.
Okay.
So it's really helpful
If
to have
I
that
were,
mix.
if I wanted to get in touch with you, Joyce, or Lakeland Hospice to attend, how would I do that?
Our number is 218-998-1400. And we also have a toll-free number.
Okay.
And that's 855-532-9300.
Okay. All right.
And we like when people call with questions.
Sure.
Yeah, we're always available to do that.
Exactly. I also understand that you have a group for children too.
Yes, I lead the support groups at the schools here, and so often kids feel the same way. They feel really alone or isolated.
Sure.
I must be the only one that's lost a mom or dad or
Right.
brother or sister.
Exactly.
So we do some talking and sharing, but we also do some activities, kind of artwork activities that help with memories, and that really helps the kids.
I'm sure it does.
And I'll be starting a group at the middle school here in April.
Okay. Well, that's great. Well, Joyce, thanks so much for coming by. I really appreciate it, and you're doing really great things.
Thank you.
And if there's a need there, and I'm glad you're meeting it.
Thank you.
That's great. Well, if you ever have anything that you'd like to see on the Perham Show, just give me a call, Gail Langner. My number is 841-2094. Thanks so much, and have a blessed day.